What's up, family? I'm back again. Just want to tap in real quick, clarify some things from the first video. I know I said some things that probably had people like, "What the fuck, bro, talking about?" I know how it go. I know a lot of things I said go against what mainstream society is pushing, and what your government is portraying with their propaganda, governmental, and you gotta look into the word parts of things, and that'll tell you what really going on around you. But yeah, so we'll get jump back in from where we was yesterday. Um, we're gonna briefly touch on, the energy centers again. Number one, which is your roots at the base of your body, which is located at the bottom of your spine, called your coccyx, Coccyx. And again, those associated with red fruits and vegetables, also black as well. So I was saying how the mulberries and strawberries are the first two fruit harvests of my region, which is a subtropical temperate deciduous forest. So the mulberries started beginning of April and probably second, probably, around a couple, let's say April 10th, and strawberries just recently started as well. Now mulberries, they are wild. And I, mentioned that I believe you should eat everything in its most pure form, which is wild, how nature had it whenever we first arrived. So, however the Creator had it when we first arrived is how we should eat it if we want to ascend to a higher level. When we start eating foods that have been cultivated and farmed, we start eating man-made creations that are lacking the nutrients that we need to thrive. And where I'm located as well, which is subtropical temperate deciduous forests, we are really lacking in nutrients for a plethora of reasons, but a lot of it has to do with, us farming our food instead of finding it wild. And this is because when you farm your food, that means you have to set up an environment, a man-made environment, to grow your crops. And when your crops are being grown without, other natural things growing around it, like if you have 10 acres and you're growing one or two, three crops, and you don't have any other trees or shrubs growing up around it, the soil is going to lack nutrients because there's no variety. Then when there's no variety, you lack in the microorganisms, the insects, the pollinators, and things of that nature. So your topsoil will be depleted because you you have nothing there that's native 9 times out of 10, because a lot of things we grow come from other places and they're native to tropical places, Mediterranean places. So that's why we have to water and give these things all these light so they can survive, because they're not being grown in their region, if that makes sense. So we're destroying our environment just to eat, in shorter, simpler terms. So with the number one, it would make sense to me. Okay, if I'm in an environment of equilibrium, that number two will be coming up shortly, which is your sacral plexus, and that color is associated with orange. Now we don't. I can't think of too many things that grow around here that's orange, especially native things. But you think of cantaloupe, not native to here. Again, we're creating an environment for it to grow, and having to water it consistently to be able to produce. And that's number two, and that's your sacral plexus, and that's from your lower abdomen to navel area, so that area below your navel. And yeah, so when we're when I think of equilibrium, I would think, okay, next month after the mulberries and strawberries, we'll be getting some orange fruits, but that's not the case. Wild persimmons, we get those, but that don't come till you know late summer, early fall. So that's 5, 6 months from now. So what you gonna be eating in those 5 or 6 months in between? And then, you know, we get butternut squash, which is a fruit. Um, and during that time as well, we get those from like September through November. And that's like your last fruit of the season. And so it's like, so what happened is 3 through 7 in this energy balance. So that's telling me off top that we are in the wrong environment, especially when we're growing things that aren't native to our environment just to survive in our environment. So a lot of the reason that happened is because are around a we are in a land of that's has a lot of different cultures, a lot of different mentalities, so which in turn brings a lot of population. So in the hunter-gatherer forager lifestyle, that's no longer like really feasible here. I mean, it still happens to an extent, but anybody living off of pure foraged, hunted, way of eating, that's few and far between, if any. But yeah, so that tells me we need to find an environment that provides us all the colors we need in our eating to have our body in balance. So when you're not in balance, nature's not in balance. Your nature's not in balance, then the world is working against you pretty much, and you working against the world just to survive. So, and with also that being said about us being around different cultures and mentalities, we all have to go where we thrive at. And we being light beings need to be in a light environment to expand our bodies physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And that all comes from my experience with a tropical environment. Because a lot of things we crave are tropical. And, a lot of fruits and vegetables we crave are tropical. So, and they will tell you that's the most highly nutritious stuff. So when we can get to a tropical environment, we will begin to manifest the things, our true purpose, start coming back together, because there the environment will provide for you more so. But even there you have different groups of people. You have a different colonizer, the Spanish conquistadors, and whatever you call them, instead of the English colonizer down there. So that's why I said in the first video, I believe freedom is beyond Antarctica, because any landmass that has a title, has a government structure, has a system with its people, of this known world, it's pretty much cooked. You gonna be you gonna struggle to survive in those environments, because groups of people have come that are doers of evil, and they're trying to keep up with the creator. So we being light people have to move at the speed of light. When you move at the speed of light, you're always in motion. When we stop and settle and feel like, oh, this is our home, this is where I want to be forever, recipe for slavery, recipe for the predicament we in now. Just my idea, just a theory, but there's truth in your purpose. So people that have no purpose, they believe the lies, they believe the government, they believe the propaganda, and don't think for themselves. And that makes a slave, because a slave is someone who doesn't think for themselves and can't control any, doesn't control any resources and their way of life. So the other colors associated with this energy system, the energy system is yellow, which is your solar plexus, and that's located above the navel, below the chest. You got your heart, and that's green colored fruits and vegetables, also pink. 5 is your throat chakra, and that's associated with blue and purple fruits and vegetables. 6, your mind, your third eye,